All right, so we have a new host code. So July's host code is this jumble right here. It is, I've put it on the Facebook page. It's also, oh, you know what I didn't do though? My brain has been so frazzled. I didn't change it on my blog, which is stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com. So now that I know that, as soon as I'm done with all this, I will go and change that. But it is on the Facebook page here, so you guys can see that. And that is for if you spend under $150, please use this host code. I will send you a special little gift in the mail. Also, if your purchase is over $150, do not use this host code because Stampin' Up! Is going to give you some rewards of your own, and I want you to have those. Okay, we have our paper pumpkin, The Adventure Begins. This kit is available for purchase up through the 10th. So if you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, this one is kind of all about the outdoors. The Adventure Begins. I have a link in the description here that you guys can go in and purchase that and subscribe to that. Also, what started on July 1st and goes through August 2nd is that beautiful designer series paper. And FYI, I will be jumping on this week and doing a special little project with you guys to get you guys using your designer series paper, because as I've told you, like with myself, I'm a paper hoarder because I just sometimes think that paper is just so beautiful. I don't want to use it, but I have a really cool, it is called the Pick 6 Wonder is the name of it. So kind of keep that in mind so you can kind of think about what that is that I will be doing for you guys. So yeah, it'll make quite a few cards with that. So it's 15% off on some of the selected paper. Our specialty paper is not on the sale. So just know that you have these ones that are, and these are all the ones that are normally $11.50 down 15% off, so it makes them $9.78. So it's a great time if you've been looking at that paper but you haven't quite wanted to spend the money. Do it now. All right. So the other thing is our kits collection. You guys want to go check these out. If you go to on my Facebook page, scroll down some and you'll see that I have the kits collections all on there that you can look at each one of them. Also, there's a link connected to that will show you and take you right to my online store where you can look at each one of them and figure out which one you want. A couple of them come with actual stamps, and other ones, you just put the kit together and you don't have any stamping you have to worry about. All right? Okay. So, winner, chicken dinner. So, last week, since I did my live, not so live, because of the fact that I was, up at the hospital with Caden, I went ahead and did a video for you guys and then posted it that day at 6 p.m. Well, I think it happened a little bit later than that because I couldn't really get the internet to work all that great at the hospital because God knows there was probably 1 million people on there. All right, so there was that card. There was this card. This one. And this one. And for liking, sharing, and commenting, I had picked from the few people that had seen that video. And it was Miss Jerry Ann Califf. So let me know which one of these cards you want. You have your happy birthday, your best wishes, the thanks, and the hello. So are those, ooh, see, I'm not even in frame. Maybe I need to tip this thing down a little bit. There we go. I think that. Jeez, I need to buy a new stand. Maybe I'll ask Santa for a new stand for Christmas. Because, that's going to be here in nothing flat. Speaking of the holidays, oh my gosh, I got to pre-order, me and my mom, both at the hospital, we got to do our pre-order July 1st for the upcoming products in the new catalog. So as soon as they come, which should be sometime this week, I will jump on and I will do a share and tell, because holy guacamole, the stuff in this new catalog. And I think between me and my mom, we both got almost everything except maybe 1 or 2 items out of the celebrations. So I'll be sharing you I'll be showing you guys the celebrations items as well. Catalog should be being mailed out here shortly. I know I put in my order for catalogs, so you guys should be getting yours soon if I'm able to already pre-order catalogs and start to get those mailed out. Some of you should be getting them directly from Stampin' Up, my customers that I have on here. Also, what was I going to tell you guys? Oh, I don't remember. It'll come to me because God only knows. All right, so today I am not going to stick with just one stamp set. I have a couple different things I want to show you guys because it's just how I roll. Oh, were you guys able to see that? Where's it at? Oh, right here. I got to get my chamois out here. Did you guys see this? How fun and cute is that? And I used the painted, what is that called? The Painted Textures. Oops, that glare is horrible. The Painted Textures 3D embossing folder. That's how I got this texture on those ice cream cones. Because I knew with ice cream, you kind of need some texture, right? But I also knew that I needed to do something for 4th of July. Because we didn't really do much else then. Because everybody was out of fireworks. So, all right. So our first card, we're going to be using those super popular, cute Turtle and Friends. This also has a coordinating, and I'm sorry if you guys get the glare of the lights binging off of that. But this is that, the punch that comes with this. If you buy it as a bundle, you can buy it separately, but just know that if you buy it as a bundle, you're going to save that 10%. Okay? So that's what we're going to be playing with first. And I also made this card in other colors because it's such a fun card that I had so much fun making yesterday that I knew it was something that I needed to make in multiple colors. So we are using Melon Mambo, which is not a color I use all so often, but it is one of those gorgeous pinks that I love. So let me show you really quick a couple of the different pinks that we have, because you might be thinking, wait a minute, Melon Mambo sure does look a lot like Magenta Madness. Well, it really doesn't, and if you compare them together. Or you might be thinking, wow, is that a lot like Polished Pink? Well, let me show you. Here is Polished Pink. That's that new in color. Here is Magenta Madness. So there's really a huge difference between them, right? Okay, so I cut this doing hot dog style. So if you have a piece of cardstock, if you cut it this way, if you cut it the half of 11, because this is 11 inches. If you cut it in half here, that would be hamburger style. But if you cut it lengthwise at the 4 1/4, that's considered hot dog style. So just if you hear me talk about that, you'll know kind of what I'm saying. Because I know back in elementary school, that's how they used to refer to it. So hot dog style, this is 11 by 4 1/4, and we're gonna score it at 5 1/2. Do know that when you make this kind of a card, when you make a hot dog style card, you have to score because you're going against the grain of the paper, okay? Because otherwise you're going to leave a lot of cracking if you try to just fold this without having a score line there. And I didn't get that very straight when I just did that. So I called and made reservations for my son's birthday because it was kind of a bummer birthday for him, because of the fact that we were gone my husband was on vacation for the week and a half when we were in San Diego. This piece right here is basic white, and it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, that's gonna layer on the front. Okay, but before we do that, we're gonna do some stamping on this. So we're gonna need our Melon Mambo, because we're gonna do the same color stamping as that. So he was home alone all on his birthday because my husband actually went back to work on the 1st of July, which was Corbin's 16th birthday at that. So I told him that when we got back, we would go kind of car shopping, and we would take him out to a pretty nice restaurant. So me and my mom had kind of searched up some restaurants, and we found this really neat Hawaiian restaurant here in town that has really good ratings and has some, from the sounds of it, some really amazing food choices. And they have cocktails. And so they can eat and we can have cocktails. All right, so I'm gonna do this stamp, right? I'm gonna stand up first so I can see what the heck I'm doing here. I'm gonna do it in the middle. Then I'm gonna do it at the top, leaving a little bit of a margin. Then I'm gonna do it at the bottom. And so one thing to know, when you're gonna stamp multiples, make sure you do your center one first so you get it centered, because then even if it's not centered, doing the other things the way that I'm doing will make it not look so bad if it's not completely centered. And then you're gonna do your 2 outside ones. Now you can come in between and kind of get your insides done where it doesn't look so, you know, crazy off-centered. Or you can always get out your Stamparatus and really get some things straight. Here's the Stamparatus. It comes with 2 of these plates, which my other one must be down in there somewhere. But they lock in these channels, and then when you put your paper in here, you put this big, huge magnet on your paper, and then when you stamp, all you're going to do is pick this thing up and move it into the next channel. And then when you stamp, the only thing that's moving is this thing is moving, you're moving this up. So it'll always be straight on that paper every single time that you stamp. So you could do it that way too. I was like, I'm just gonna wing it. All right, then we're going to take a piece of scrap paper white, basic white, let that dry for a minute. Grab your Memento, because we're going to be using some of our Stampin' blends. Okay, and I'm gonna stick him, this is that little turtle, cutest little thing ever, right? That's this right here, and then the punches him out perfectly. Him, her, whatever. And then I also need to take the little hat. This little hat right here. Looks like a little party hat. And I'm just gonna stamp it right there. Oh, geez. Why I didn't already have these out. Okay, then let me clean this thing. Actually, we're just gonna go like that. And then this says, it's time to celebrate. Puns be real. We're just gonna put that right inside of the shell, just like that. Okay, now we're done with that. And then I'm gonna grab Granny Apple Green, because Granny Apple Green is so bright and vibrant and looks so good on this Melon Mambo. So I'm gonna take the dark, right? The dark green first, And I'm going to do his little shell there, and then just kind of where I think some shadowing would be along his, where his shell kind of hides that. And then maybe just a hair underneath there. Then I'm going to come in with the light Granny Apple Green. And you're not going to see a huge difference between these colors, but that's the whole point. Is one is just a skosh darker, so you see some of that shading. You don't want it to be crazy, you know, difference, because otherwise it wouldn't blend right. So yes, Andre got transferred to a new store. He was on vacation and then they transferred him. So now he's only 15, well, about 15, 20 minutes away from the house versus before when he would have to drive, you know, 45 minutes to an hour to get to work. So he's super stoked about that, especially the vehicle that he drives. We have a big four-wheel drive Suburban. So that's his daily driver. Because the little Honda that we had finally decided to take a kaput, because he used to drive that every day back and forth to work, and it just finally said, nope, I'm done. He's still out there trying to fix it though, because he loves driving that car. Well, he likes the gas price in that car versus that Suburban. So I just came in with the dark Melon Mambo, and now I'm going to come in with light Melon Mambo. And again, just a little bit of light difference between the two colors, but as they dry, you'll start seeing the difference there. Okay, where did I put that? There's the punch. This punch also has these two little dots, which would be used for the eyes. So you would use this one as the white part of the eye, then this one you would put on top of it for the little black part of the eye. But I'm not worrying about that because I like his little eye the way it is. Okay, I'm going to line this up. See your two little pieces there? I don't need those, so I just toss those. Then I'm going to grab my scissors, and then I'm just going to fussy cut this little hat. So I'm just going to kind of quickly do this. Am I on camera? Are you guys missing everything? Because I'm not seeing comments pop up for some crazy reason. Of course, Facebook wants to be Facebook today. So if I'm out of frame, just yell at me and tell me, hey, can't see what you're doing. I have to get a new stand. The stand that I have is kind of just jimmy rigged on the back of my desk because I got a new desk and the desk doesn't have a lip across the back to connect my stand to. So that's just the way it is. All right, so I'm gonna take this, but first I'm using this is called the Brights Designer Series paper. We also have this in the Regals. We have it in the Subtles. We have it in the Neutrals. And, yep, because this is the Brights. And then we have it in both of the In colors. This is the Designer Series paper. It's 6x6. And it came in new designs this year, so they kind of did away with the last prints and did new prints and revamped it this year. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Oh. So look how beautiful that is. And this is a big, thick stack. I was trying to see if it said how much. Oh, there's 40 pieces in there. So there are all your colors. This one is Pacific Point. So you get it in two different designs, but on the back side, they also have a different design as well. And I think you get 4 of those in each color. And then if you do it in the In colors, since there's only 5 In colors, I think you get like, I don't know, I don't remember how many of each, but you get more. All right, that little hat is gonna go on there. So I took out this melon mambo piece and I used my layering circles right here. And I came in with the, I guess this would be the 1, 2, 3, 4th size in from the biggest. And I cut out a circle out of that designer series paper. Then I just got those new, they're new this year. They're the tags right here, these dies. They're called tailor-made tags. And I took this one right here. That's why it's out of that. So each one of them come in 4 different sizes. You have the smallest, the next, and then the biggest. Okay, so I took the second from the biggest on this design because the difference is this print up here. And I cut out the second one right there. Okay, but before I get too crazy with that, I took a piece of the white. Oh my goodness. I have a frog in my throat, or a cat or something. This is the crinkle seam binding ribbon. And the good thing about this ribbon is it is absolutely colorable. Is that a word? Colorable? I don't know. But I just made it a word. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, I'm using the light melon mambo, and you can make this ribbon any color. So say we, like for instance, we don't sell a melon mambo ribbon, but I need something to match my card here. There you go. Now we have a matching piece of ribbon. I'm going to let that dry a second. Then come in with this. Where'd my little shell go? Or my little turtle. And I'm going to take this piece and use the lined side. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this turtle. And I'm going to make it kind of where those lines are somewhat straight so he doesn't look so crooked on there. And then just put a little dab of glue in the back of this hat. And then just kind of stick that hat on his little head, or her head, hers, his. Maybe if I try to crook that. Well, see, you guys have comments popping up on here, but what the heck is going on? Eek, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Maybe. There they are. All right, I have the minis and the big ones. I need the big ones for this tag, but before I do that, I want to come in with this, and I'm going to bend it in half, stick it through, okay, stick it through that little hole, and then open that up and put these 2 pieces through there. Look, I didn't even have to tie a bow. Lucky you guys. Because you guys all know how well I do with bows, right? Ha! That was an easy peasy. All right, so we need this piece here. Ah, come on. And this is gonna go right here along the side, but we need those dimensionals. So we have our next in-person class coming up on the 15th. So I've been sitting here designing some cards. I already had some things in mind, what we were going to do. So that's always fun. Okay, this, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to line it up kind of with my that this side watching this margin over here. And then these words, even though they do look like they're a little bit like one has gotten moved over, you get to go like this. So then you don't even see that those are a little crooked. Okay, so with this, I want to kind of watch what I'm doing, and I'm going to flip this over, knowing that this line right here is kind of what I'm going to put. I'm going to put one dimensional right there. Okay, because that's going to be off and on this side of the paper. And then this side, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on. Not much, just a little bit. And then when I put this down, I'm going to slide it over where that glue, and then kind of watch this margin and this margin to make sure I get him on there straight. And then since this has lines, hey, it's kind of a nice thing, because then you can just line up that edge here with the line of that circle. Okay, there's that. Now, this just gets glued right onto this card base. How easy peasy was that? Okay, make sure your opening is at the bottom because, well, you know, it is what it is, and I have failed on that. As you can see, just letting you guys know so you don't wind up doing the same thing that I've done. Learn from my mistakes, because I'm human and I make them, and it's okay. You just move on, right? All right, so there is that card. So what I would do for the inside of this, and I didn't even bring any of my innies out. Oh, I have my thing of innies and outies up here. All right. Oh, no, I don't. I fibbed. All right, so let me get a white piece out here because I didn't even get the inside of this card. Gee, I thought I was so prepared. Well, you know, it's just how life rolls, right? Just when you think you're prepared, you're not. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4, and then at 4, because that's going to be the inside of my card. Okay, now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take a piece of this designer series paper. Ooh, look at that. That might actually work perfect. And I'm just going to cut about 1/2 of an inch like that, and then hope that this will work at 4. Oh, and it's going to work lovely. Jeez, I like it when things work out, especially when I'm on camera, because that doesn't happen very often, but we'll take it. So what did you guys do over the 4th of July? Did you guys have a good weekend? Did you guys watch fireworks? We were all sold out of fireworks here, but that's my fault because before we went on vacation, we had went to Sam's Club because there was a chair there that I wanted to get for Caden, and my mom even said, hey, you want to grab some fireworks? And I was like, no, we have time. Well, that was my bad. They were sold out everywhere. Like, the only thing that they had were sparklers. So guess who got stuck doing sparklers last night? That's us. My kids, I tell you, they put up with so much crap from me. All right, so since that says happy birthday and that says it's time to celebrate, I think we should say maybe you are turtly loved, or put another happy birthday in there. Or should I leave it blank and let you guys decide if this is the card that you pick if you win? Or we can say happy belated birthday. Sorry I was slow. I love that. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think I should put in the inside of there. Or leave it blank. We'll come back to that. If I could see comments, because my comments are frozen, but oh well. Oh, there a comment came through. You had to work yesterday? Yee. That was a pretty long day. So do your neighbors let off fireworks all night long? Or do you have like good neighbors that are courteous? Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it blank in there for right now, but look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? All right, so let me show you the other cards that I worked on, because I had to, of course, make it in. And you know what? I need to cut some of this off up here because it's a little on the ridiculous side. Okay. So look how cool that ribbon is, how you can make it match any color you have on there. And the reason why I did the light is because see the lines on this designer series paper, how they look like they're a lighter melon mambo. I kind of like that contrast because it pulled those lines out. Okay, so I made it in Blackberry Bliss, and I colored the turtle. Instead of doing him in Granny Apple Green like on this one, I did him in that new in color that is the Soft Succulent. Then I did it in, and this one, I used Rich Razzleberry for this, yeah, whatever the heck I'm trying to say, for the tag. This one I did Bermuda Bay as the card base, and then I did Coastal Cabana as the tag. This one I did both the same, the front and the back, just because I like those two together. And then here I did the Soft Succulent with the Evening Evergreen. So aren't those super cute? And they're rather quick that you could just kind of do a bunch of those and then have cards on hand for birthdays. And July is like a huge birthday month for us around here. Okay, so that card I'm going to set over there. All right, let's move on to the next card. The next one, okay, where did I put all my, oh, there it is. I was going to say I had everything cut out because I know how I am. Let's get this punch put away. So, there we go. All right, so this next one I am going to use, let's see what we got going on here. I am going to use, what did I decide? Oh, we're going to make a hot or hamburger style card. So just to show you the difference here. So when I just made that last card, I cut it down the center of my 11. So I cut it at 5.5, or I cut it at the 8.5. So I cut it at 4 1/4, but it was 11 inches long. Now I'm going to turn this and have my length be this way. So now I'm going to cut it in half at the 11-inch ways. So now I have to find the center of that, and that is 5.5. That is our standard card. Okay, now since this goes with the grain, I can actually take this and just fold it and not have a bunch of wrinkles and not have to worry about scoring it. Now, I score a lot of my cards just because I like the crispness of it, but I want to show you that you don't have to do that. If I could hang on to this, because my hands are not wanting to work right now. And just go like that. And then voila. See? And then just take your bone folder. Just like that. And then you have a card base ready for you to go. All right. But I don't know why I did that, because I have to show you guys something. Okay, you're going to want to cut this. You can score for, or you can fold it in half first, or cut this down to 7.5. Yeah, I'm gonna probably confuse the heck out of you since I screwed that one up. So cut your paper down to 7.5, okay? And then you're still gonna want to score it at 4 1/4, because no matter what side you scored at 4 1/4, you're gonna still have the same measurement, okay? This is like 3 1/4 here now. Okay, then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and I am using that, what's it called? I am using the hand pen. And I have fallen in love with this paper only because the fact that I love how there's so many different colors in these flowers. Hopefully that's not like a horrible glare. There's so many colors to pick out of this. Like you have that cinnamon cider in here. You have more of that blushing bride here, which is the color that I'm using here is blushing bride. Here you've got, you know, some of those purples and the, I think that's daffodil. Yeah, daffodil delight. Then over here, you've got all these colors, but then if you flip it over, you've got a solid patterned print that you can really have fun with. And these papers really coordinate well. So I'm kind of really digging this. This piece of designer series paper, and this paper's on sale too. So just FYI. So now that you have your paper folded, you have kind of a stopping point right here because you have that cut. You're going to take your 7 1/8 by 5 1/4, and you're gonna fold this down and bump this, bam, right up against there, right? Because now you have 1/4 of an inch around the whole outside of your paper. Let me make sure I have that straight because it looked like it was a little crooked there. And again, I've made this card in multiple colors as well because it's very simple and easy layout to do. But I just love how that paper brings out the blushing bride in that DSP. Okay, so this piece is just going to get stuck right down. Like I said, hold that and then just bump it straight up against there. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to need a piece of basic white, which is 3 by 5 1/4. That will be our front part right here. But we're going to do some stamping on this. Okay, so I'm done with the turtle. So let's get him out of the way. Put him on the floor for the moment. We're done with the tags. We're done with the layering circles. Try to declutter myself here because we don't need all these things falling over into the space. All right, I'm coming in with this flower, which is from the Contour, what's it called? The Flowers and Friendship. Okay, really neat. This also has a coordinating punch. I'm not using the punch today for this particular card, but this punch has been loved because I do use it a lot. It cuts out the big flower, the smaller flower, and then both the 2 leaves. Okay? And that also comes in a bundle. It's in the annual catalog. That bundle, you get the stamp and the punch for 10% off. Okay, so let's grab our memento because we're going to color again, but let me put some of these pens away so I don't accidentally be me and grab the wrong color because that would not be good. Whew, it's warm. Or I'm just getting my hot flashy self. Okay, I'm going to stamp this kind of up a little, kind of more, I guess, in the center, and then stamp. And because this is a red rubber stamp, it works beautifully. I don't have to put anything underneath it, even though you guys did see me use all these photopolymers and I didn't put it on anything, and they actually worked quite well. So I think with this covering that I have on my desk, I think it actually adds a little bit of a cushion. Where did I put my, oh, there it is. Eek, couldn't find my chamois there for a minute. So it looks like to me, when I'm looking at this piece of cardstock, it does look like it's got some of that garden green because the colors that coordinate with this is garden green, mint macaron, and pool party. So with this particular paper, I'm kind of leaning towards the mint macaroon, which is also going to be the piece, the color that I've chosen for using my sentiment piece as well. So I'm going to use the mint macaron Stampin' Blends, and that is soft seafoam, so that's not going to work. Let me find them. Okay, here we go. Dark mint macaron and light mint macaron. And then for the flowers, I'm using Blushing Bride, or not, because I don't think we have Blushing Bride. So what did I say I was going to use? I knew I had it in my mind. I think I'm going to come in with some Petal Pink, or I can use my light Flirty Flamingo. That might work. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use my light mint macaron first. And the reason why I stamped in that Memento ink, I know mine's a little haggard, but I stamped in the Memento ink is because using Stampin' Blends, they have alcohol ink in them. So you really have to make sure you don't use a water-based ink to stamp, because otherwise you will destroy your lined images that you're stamping. And you just don't want that. Okay, then I'm going to take the dark and I'm just going to kind of follow those veins of the leaf to kind of give it a little bit more depth and dimension. Then I'm going to grab a scrap, which where did I put my scrap? I'm just going to grab a little white scrap here and see what colors I like together on that. Okay, I think I like the light with that. All right, so I think I'm gonna start out with my light Petal Pink, just like we did down here. We started with the light, and then I can darken in the veins as we go, and then you can always go over it again if those veins get a little too dark. You could also use watercolor paper if you wanted to, and then use your stamp pad and a stamp pad or ink pad, and dip a water brush, water painter brush, one of these water painters, with some water in the actual ink pad of the Blushing Bride, and then move that color over onto there as well, if you want it to be the same exact color. But see, I'm okay with this Flirty Flamingo and the Petal Pink because it's just enough of some darker color to that it makes it really kind of be okay with this DSP. And then I'm just adding a little bit more of my light over that to make it where those lines kind of are more blended, but I still have that darker color down below. Okay, it's not perfectly the color, but we're gonna let that dry because I think it's gonna be actually really nice because you've got kind of these darker flowers. It'll be okay. I have confidence in it. All right, so then I have my mint macaron, and I'm going to add a sentiment to this. Ah, if I can get my thing out of there. I'm not sure if I like this. I think this is going to be too big, but I want to try it just because my other ones, I've used different ones. Actually, it's not too big. I actually like that. So I used the Label Me Lovely. Now, you'll see on some of my other cards that I'm going to show you, I've used different ones with them. Then I'm going to use the, let's see, many thanks from all of us, or we can do, hello, Miss Jamie Wise. So see, and even with this, the cool thing is you can turn this label and then maybe do something like life is better if you don't throw things around like I do. You can grab this and stamp. Oh, see, that looks like it's almost like it was meant for that label. So play with your stuff. I mean, move things around, flip them around, and, you know, make it suit you. Okay, and I just hold that on there a few minutes to get that crispness. I'm gonna bring this thing down a little bit because I feel like I'm awfully far away, that it seems like you guys are really far away from the camera. Okay, so now we're gonna get this glued on here. All the dimensions and everything will be over on my blog tomorrow, which is stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com. So you'll find all the ingredients, all the recipes, all that good stuff on. And see, what I'm going to do is I want that to hang over that edge. So when you open the card, you kind of still have that laying there. And actually, now that I look at this, I think this needs a little bit more. Pink to it. It just seemed like it didn't have enough of that pink tone. So I'm just using a little bit more of that Flirty Flamingo. Then now I can take my petal pink and just kind of smooth that out a little bit. And then I think that's going to make pretty close to our blushing bride that we need, since we don't have a Stampin' Blend in Blushing Bride, which is fine. Improvise. Okay, knowing that this is going to go halfway here, or like 3/4 of the way, maybe 2/3, I'm going to hold this and know that I only want glue over here, and then I can always slide it and push that glue this way if I want more of that being over here in this part of the card. Just like that. Okay. Now let's grab some goodies. Let's see, do those match? I don't think so. Oh. No. There's a pink up towards the top, but I don't think that's going to go. No. Now that would go with the paper, but I don't like it with those flowers. Right? No. The blue almost looks like it goes because of the fact that it looks like it matches that. But I'm going to still see. Where did I throw the thing? Ugh. I'm going to still see if I can find something that is a little bit closer. Like maybe the champagne might look good. Ugh, I can't get those back in there. So those look good. I like that. Oh, wait a minute. You know what I do have? Ooh, and I never even used them. And I think they are exactly what this card needs. Now, I won't be able to find them because I opened my mouth. And, ooh, there they are, right there. Ooh, look, mint macaron. Woohoo! I like it. Even those would go too, but no. See, when you have so many of these things, you kind of forget what you have in there. And then, you know, it just, okay. Now we're gonna take some of these and put one right there. Oh yeah, I definitely like that green, the mint macaron. And let's put this one right here. Okay, voila! What do you think? That's pretty, huh? Again, very simple card, but just kind of has a little bit different look to it with kind of a different kind of fold. But again, you can make a bunch of these and have them around for when you need birthday cards. So here's the other color that I made. This is actually going out in a birthday. Oh, and I forgot to put Wink on there. Ooh, man, oh man. Can't forget the Wink. All right, so this one, I used a different kind of paper. I used the one that had the more purples and the blues, and I used Misty Moonlight and Bumblebee with this, and the Daffodil Delight, and made it like that. And then I used the, it's called the rectangular postage stamp for that sentiment piece. Then I've made it in this one, which is going to be our card for our upcoming in-person class. And I've used the new Fresh Freesia along with this paper, and then I used Soft Succulent on that, and that's from the Contours and something. Where's it at? Because I use it all the time. Right here. It's these dies, and these are called the Scallop Contours dies. I used the smallest one right there with the little dots in it. And I know you guys have seen me use that because I've used that a lot. So that is that card, and as that dries, that's gonna start lightening up. But very beautiful, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next card. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We gotta Wink this. Girl, you cannot forget the Wink on some flowery petals. Oh, no, no, no. Honey, that is not gonna work. So yeah, and I'm not sure exactly why they didn't do it, but normally our casino that's right up the road from us, it's probably about one of the closest places to us. It's out on the reservation. They normally on the 3rd of July, they always do this big spectacular fireworks show because it is their actual opening anniversary. So it's kind of neat because it kind of falls right, you know, the day before 4th of July. So everybody always goes out there and watches the big fireworks show. And then they go over to either their house or go somewhere else and watch another big fireworks show on the 4th of July. So it's kind of neat because then you get it kind of 2 days in a row. But they didn't do it this year. I don't know if it, I mean, and we've had quite a bit of rain compared to our last year's no rainfall. So there we go. I put some Wink on there. And I think the Wink actually makes it look a little bit more like it's blending with that color. But then you've got those little sparklies on there as well. Okay, so there's that card. Now what did I do with my turtle? Okay, there it is. All right, another card to show you using that artistically inked or expressions in ink, depending on whether or not you buy the bundle or you buy the whole suite. I'm using this one in the Pale Papaya and our new, let me get this thing out of the way, our new Shimmering Vellum. So let me show you that. Maybe. Oh my goodness, I had it right here. Oh, geez, see, it was stuck to another paper pack. Go figure. Okay, so I'm using the Expressions in Ink DSP. Now, this is one that is not on sale because this is one of our specialty papers because it has all this gold foiling on the flip side of the paper, okay? But this is the wonderfulness of this card. Now this comes in the 3 colors. It comes in soft succulent, pale papaya, and what's our pink? Polished pink. So I hope you guys can see the shimmer on this vellum. This is the soft succulent, and this comes 2 sheets of each color. This one's stuck together here, so it's not really that dark once I get the sheets apart. Okay, there you go. So that's the polished pink. Can you see the shimmer on that? It is just beautiful. And then, oh, I forgot. There's actually fresh freesia in there. So it's soft succulent, polished pink, 2 sheets of fresh freesia, and 2 sheets, these are 12 by 12, of the pale papaya as well. And I've obviously cut this one down because we're going to be using it. So you get it in, the only color I believe you're not getting is the Evening Evergreen. Oh, wait a minute, I lied. Woohoo! There is Evening Evergreen. So you get all 5 colors. 2 sheets of all 5 colors of this shimmering vellum. Oh my goodness. I almost didn't tell you guys the truth, but I fixed it, right? I corrected myself. Yep, shimmering vellum. It's in the 2022, 2023 in colors. All right, so pale papaya is our card base. I did this hamburger style. So let me fold this. I think it's time for a new blade on my cutter because it's starting to leave like little frills, and I can't stand that. And that's the one good thing, that when you buy replacement blades from us, I think you get 4 of them in the pack. All right, so I'm going to take this piece of vellum, which is the pale papaya, and it's in that shimmering vellum. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I'm gonna run that with my blue. Let me get this out of the way. Let me move some of these pens. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right, now we need to bring the Big Shot over, or the Big Boss. Okay, let me lift this up just a hair so you guys can kind of see more of what I'm doing. And hopefully move my mess here. All right, so when you use this, you're going to use your, because it is a regular folder, you want to use, because it's not a 3D folder, you need to use both of your clear plates along with number 2. So you need number 1, number 2, and then 2 of your number 3s, right? Because that's how you roll with a regular embossing folder. Now, if it was a 3D embossing folder, which is right here, which is that painted texture one that I showed you those ice creams came from, you would take off plate 2. So all you would use then is you would use plate 1 and the plate 4, which is the specialty plate for 3D, and then you would just put your paper inside of your embossing folder, throw that on the top, and run it through. That's all that's required for 3D folders. But since this is not, we're using 1, 2, and 2 3s. Okay, so this is that new Pretty Flowers embossing folder, and boy is it pretty flowers, let me tell you. Then after you put down 2, you can choose to either put it in between one of your number 3s, but I just lay both of my 3s on top and run it through that way. So I need to get this over here so I can, oh no, I fibbed. I think you only use 1. Oh, geez, Louise, trying to kill everything. Look at me go. Okay, are we back? Act like I've never, oh my goodness. Okay. Have I never embossed before? What is going on here? See? Told you. I mess up too. I think you don't need the number 2. I guess it would help if I read this right. All you need, okay, let me go through this again. So, rewind, take away what I said. You're going to need the number 1, your big chunky plate, okay? And only 2 number 3s. See, it even says it right here for you. There's directions. Just Danny's like a man. She never reads directions. No, just kidding. That's not fair to men. Okay, so you lay it in between. And then, like it's supposed to, it goes right through. But, learn from my mistakes, remember? I know you guys were probably all sitting at home going, what are you doing? That is not how you do that at all. Figure it out, lady. You guys were probably all screaming at me, right? Like, come on. Okay, so that was the pretty flowers. Now look what it does to that shimmering. Let me move you guys back down again since I bumped you guys and threw you all around. Can you see the dimension of those flowers and the shimmer on that? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, that is now going to get put, now let me not lose all my pieces here. That is going to get put directly onto my card base. Now, since that is vellum and we don't really want a whole bunch of glue sticking out the back, I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to kind of make sure that is up. Run it there, here, and then through the center. Okay, just like that. Make sure my flowers are facing the right way. And then I'm just going to stick that right on there. Isn't that pretty on top of the color on the tone on tone? Now it looks like I got that a little bit too far that way, but it's okay. Then we're going to take that piece of DSP, which is 1.5 by 4, and that's going to get stuck right down here along the bottom. Ugh. And see that gold shimmer to that paper? Isn't that gorgeous? And FYI, my iPad is frozen over here, frozen in time. I'm like stuck back on my turtle card. I don't know why, but my internet is working fine, so I don't know why Facebook is being such a turd to me. I don't know. All right, then we're going to grab our, not Melon Mambo, my Magenta Madness and my Pale Papaya. Now watch what we're gonna do. And I almost let my mom take this set today, but I was like, if you take it, you gotta bring it right back. She goes, well then never mind, you just keep it. And I'm like, okay, well thank God I did, because I needed to make you guys a card today using it. Because we've used the stamps, we used this last week, the cards that I just got done showing you that were from last week's live but not so live video. We use this one here, but I'm going to use this big flower right here. So let me get out the big, where, oh there it is. I was gonna say, I know I have a big, whatever that, acrylic block. To put that big flower on. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys kind of a trick. Some tricks here. We've got tricks. Okay, I need this one. All right, so I have these little, I believe Stampin' Up! Still sells them. I'm pretty sure they do. They're finger daubers. So I just have like one for browns and yellows, ones for like purples and pinks. I think that's the one that I just showed you. One has more like grays, purples. I have one with reds. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Pale Papaya and my Magenta Madness, open up both. Now I'm gonna take my stamp and I'm gonna stamp it completely in the Pale Papaya. Then I'm gonna take my finger dauber. Can you guys see me? Am I in frame? Or am I too far away? Or not far enough? Maybe. Ah, gosh, I gotta get a new thing. Then I'm gonna daub my finger dauber into my Magenta Madness and just kind of dab it on over that Pale Papaya. Now, just like you would to a window, you're gonna huff on that to give it some nice crisp color and get it kind of moist again, because especially here I have a fan blowing on me so I don't like have drips of sweat. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't get that bad, but it could, especially when our AC goes out like it did today. All right, then I'm gonna leave this one out because I'm gonna take this the little center piece of that flower and put it right here. Okay, so I just did that in Pale Papaya. But do you see how it got a different look to it than if I was to just stamp it straight in Pale Papaya like this? Let me clean this off and show you what it looks like if I did it just in Pale Papaya, which it doesn't look bad, but I like this look where it gives it both those tones where I'm kind of bringing both these colors in from the paper onto one flower. Okay, let me cut those out really quick. Since I do know how to work my Big Boss. Yeah. Okay, I know how to cut. I obviously just don't know how to emboss. All right, so I need the big flower piece right here and the little flower piece. And now let me cut this out. I can accomplish that. Now see, now do you guys understand why I try to have these things cut out first? So you guys aren't waiting in just dead air for me. Okay, so now that those are cut out, I can take these off of here. And I did show you guys the card, didn't I? That I used this big piece right here. Where did that card go? I thought I showed it to you guys last week, but if not, let me, maybe if I can find it, there it is. See this big white piece right here? I used this stamp piece right here in the Pale Papaya, just down the side. I did it once and then did it again. And then I took and cut this out of just our basic white and stuck it right over the top of that, just to add kind of a little bit of dimension to that card. Okay, so here's our flower, and here's our inside of our flower. I'm just going to take my glue and stick this on here and just put that right in the center of that flower, just like that. Now I need a little piece of the white, and I'm going to stamp the words. Where did I get that words from? Let's celebrate you. Hold on, now I gotta remember where I got the stamp set from. Oh, that's right. I used the sayings from Sweet as a Peach because I love these small little words in here, and they go great with, there's a little, oh gosh, dang it, I have the right one. There's this little banner right here that works great with so many of these little sayings in here. They fit perfect in this little die. And let me tell you something, I will be doing a video showing you guys some more of this Sweet as a Peach because I have some cards made that I want to do for you guys because let me tell you, this is a great set to own. Not only, oh, here, let me show you a card really quick that I made using it because I had a blast making this card, and I think this card is so stunning and so elegant. And it is using simply the Sweet as a Peach. Look at that, minus the hair on there. Is that not gorgeous? I use some of our stencils with we sell the shimmering white embossing paste, and I used a stencil out of our decorative masks, and I did this here, but first I did pale papaya with some of our what is the thing, blender brush. I took the blender brush and did just half of the card with the pale papaya, and then these all cut out of the dies here. Isn't that beautiful? I thought, oh my gosh, what a elegant card. So this set, it's probably one of our most fairly decently priced sets that we have also. I think it's one of those sets that, you know, you're going to look at and you're going to go like, oh, wow, is that really the price of that? Because I'm just saying, I think it's very decently priced for the dies and everything you get. And then they actually have jars that you can there's a set of little like canning jars that work perfect. You can actually, they're food grade. You can put food in them. Where's my black? There it is. And so you can make up some little peach jams, maybe some little peach gummies, I don't know, and, you know, give those as gifts. It goes, you know, with this set. So, all right, let me cut this out really quick because I should have had that done ahead of time, but I didn't. So what are we looking at on time here? Okay, it's 7:30. All right, let me cut this out really quick. Yeah, our neighbor a while back, speaking of the casino, our neighbor, she rented a room at the casino and let us all come. She had a couple of people that she invited up there to watch the firework display. And it was awesome because we could be right out the window of the hotel room where it was the firework display. So you could stay inside where it was nice and cool, but still watch the amazing fireworks show that they put on. So I thought, that's kind of cool to get a couple of people, and maybe all of you go in on, you know, not staying at the room together, but, you know, just for the evening to go in and have fun and watch the fireworks show with your kids. All right, I'm grabbing the Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. I want to use right here, and see it's already waiting right there for me. I want to grab this leafy, maybe, I just want the leaf, guys. Come on up and see, and the leaf's not even in there. I want this leaf right here with the two little, whatever those things are, those spriggy things, and the two leaves. Okay, I will deal with that off camera, because otherwise we could be here a while. Sorry about the glare on those. Set that aside. And get a drink while I'm at it. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to put this on dimensionals. Maybe get that dimensional up. Okay, and then kind of just decide how you like your flower to sit on here. And before you commit to sticking it down, my word to the wise is see where you kind of want this little spriggy thing. And then flip this over, and I know that I'm going to glue it like right over here towards this corner. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue there, and then slide this thing right where I think it's going to go best. And then, like I said, with this glue, you have time to move things around. So say like that. I think I've covered too much of it. There you go. See, I can just pull a little bit of it out. I still have time, and then I can set this thing down on here. And see, and I want just a little bit of that covering. I know I could do it over here and cover that, but I like the green, or the green up in here and those leaves. And I kind of want to stay with this pale papaya here because of that. And then I want, there we go. I want this thing to be able to be seen, but still see some of those colors through there. And then I'm going to take this Let's Celebrate You and just put enough glue to have it adhere to that flower. But I'm going to leave no glue on this end because it's just going to hang off the edge there a little bit. Just like that. And seeing it looks like I got a little bit of that glue hanging over the edge. So I'm just going to grab my glue eraser. Oh, it's still a little wet, so I can't do that at the moment. So I will take care of that. I like to take a little bit of a baby wipe. Because see my smooge right here? And I just take the corner of a baby wipe. Let me grab a baby wipe and I'll show you how I get rid of that. Because, again, it happens. And because of this ephemera, it kind of shows everything. So I just kind of take that and just kind of lightly wipe that off. And then with my finger being still a little bit wet, just like that. There we go. So there is that card. Isn't that so pretty? I love this sparkle. And I like that it comes in all 5 colors because I don't know why I didn't think it didn't. And this embossing folder is amazing. And to think how many different things you can use to emboss with that. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great week. I feel like I told you guys before, I feel like it has been so long that I've been out of whack with making cards. As you can see, I made some boo-boos today, but hey, you know what? It's the way it is. We all make boo-boos. There's nothing wrong with it. So, like I said, everything's going to be posted on the blog tomorrow, so you can go in and see how these cards are made. I link all the product to my online store, so you can always just click on anything and go over there. Like I said, don't forget to use the host code if your purchase is under $150. and get yourself some of that paper while it is on sale right now, that DSP that you've been looking at and you just didn't want to splurge. Well, now is the time to splurge on that DSP. All right, you guys, have a great week. I will see you guys next Monday. Well, maybe before then, because the fact that I have the product share that I want to show you guys that I got from being a demonstrator. I got the privilege of ordering that new product out of those new catalogs. So stay tuned for that. All right, you guys, have a good one. Bye.